This episode of Nerdist News Edition is sponsored by Borderlands 3. We've got the 7 Disney live-action remakes we want to see next. Based on the recent box office returns for The Lion King and Aladdin, well, it seems like Disney's found a winning recipe for big screen success and big green success, but not the Big Green Movie. Step 1, go back to their deep catalog of beloved animated flicks. Step 2, remake those films in a live-action format or photorealistic format if you're the Lion King. Step 3, swim like Uncle Scrooge in their pools filled with money. Overall, the critical and fan reception for each live-action installment has been mixed, ranging from glowing praise for Jon Favreau's The Jungle Book to head-scratching praise for Jon Favreau's The Lion King. However, despite the variety in critical reaction and all types of Jon Favreau movies that they make, it doesn't seem like the remake factory is shutting down anytime soon. Since the modern inception, sorry 101 Dalmatians, the Disney live-action remakes have taken a few different paths since the new era of films began. The options include a nearly shot-for-shot remake of the original animated feature, like 2017's Beauty and the Beast, an update of the source material like this year's Dumbo, a combination of the two like Aladdin, or the photorealistic approach as seen in The Lion King and The Jungle Book. And with a slate of even more live-action adaptations on Disney's horizon, such as Mulan, Cruella, The Little Mermaid, and so many more, we thought we'd run down the 7 Disney live-action remakes we most want to see next. Now, before we go any further, these are not in any particular order. We want to see all of these made in one form or another. Now, there is one that we, and by we I mean specifically producer Aaron, want to see more than anything. Now that said, grab your popcorn because we're going deep on the Diz. Now, first up, The Emperor's New Groove. That's right, we said it, we're cool, we're hip, we know what you want to see.
Oh yeah.
The tale of the sarcastic, spoiled emperor who gets turned into a llama by a vengeful advisor who wants to take over his empire is full of adventure, friendship, class strife, and truly memorable characters, like Yzma and Kronk most notably.
My spinach puffs.
While this animated feature didn't have any musical numbers, the colorful Peruvian setting and the attitude of Cusco would be a fun opportunity for Disney in today's era. It's all coming together.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Next, everyone's favorite jungle dweller, Tarzan. Tarzan's definitely an underrated Disney flick, and while its Phil Collins soundtrack is full of bangers, it somehow didn't end up as one of the Disney Renaissance's classics. However, remaking the film in live action could utilize a mix of human actors and the tech used in The Lion King and The Jungle Book for the animals featured in Tarzan. This could be a fresh way to tell the story, just as long as they definitely keep that soundtrack. We need to get Phil Collins in the studio ASAP. From one civilization to another, Atlantis, the Lost Empire is our next pick. The year is 2019, and teens are hot, nay, horny for Milo Thatch, the nerdy professor at the center of this quest for Atlantis. While Disney's Jungle Cruise adaptation hits theaters in the next year, a throwbacky, magical, Indiana Jones-style romp would be honestly amazing to see on the big screen. There would be room to play around here as well. You don't have to stick to like the sort of shot-by-shot tactic. The source material isn't as iconic as some of the other Disney films in the vault, so I don't know, just have fun with Milo.
Wait a minute. Whoa, back up.
Moving on, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Since 2019's Aladdin made $1 billion at the box office, we propose that Disney keep that winning combination of Will Smith's Genie, new songs for Jasmine, and Guy Ritchie being Guy Ritchie. And since we know they're already looking at the next chapter for the film franchise, we'd like to advocate that Disney skip the return of Jafar and proceed directly to the King of Thieves, which is all about Aladdin's dad, Aladdin. You guys get it? Hopping along to our next pick, The Princess and the Frog. One of the more recent entries in the Disney princess canon, The Princess and the Frog has a lot of good things going for it. The New Orleans and Southern swamp setting, the jazz-infused soundtrack, the delicious villain in Dr. Facilier,
Fun fact about Voodoo Larry,
and the charm of Tiana herself all contribute to its winning formula. Plus, the movie's message that hard work makes your dreams come true rather than just kissing a frog is as timely as ever. Frogs are gross and may be covered in poison. Don't smooch them. Now, a live-action Princess and the Frog could be a gloriously lush musical comedy that would make everyone want to move to New Orleans. However, due to the number of talking animal characters in the film like Tiana and Naveen themselves, we don't think that photorealism is the way to go here. You need trained-ass frogs. Anyway, a slightly updated retelling that keeps the heart and beats of the original would just be perfect. Now, switching gears to another princess, or rather, a duchess, a grand duchess, if I may, Anastasia. After decades of people constantly thinking Anastasia was a Disney movie when in fact it was not, thanks to the Fox-Disney merger, it is! Anastasia is now a Disney princess, folks! Now, considering that Anastasia was arguably the most successful non-Disney animated feature of the 90s, its mixture of historical fiction, swoon-worthy romance, and fantasy would be perfect for the big screen. However, casting the live-action Dimitri could be tricky. Considering how perfect the John Cusack animated version is, well, good luck with that, Disney. And finally, the Disney live-action film we'd most want to see on the big screen, and by we, I do mean exclusively producer Aaron, Hercules. Disney doesn't have a ton of cult hits under its belt. They either have bona fide hits or they have straight up misses. Now, we'd like to posit that Hercules is the closest thing to a cult classic that Disney has. It may have been overshadowed by some of its Disney Renaissance predecessors, but since its release, it has only grown in popularity. There have been live-action Hercules films before, which were adaptations of the Greek myth, but Disney's yet to take on the larger-than-life hero. With Hercules, there might be an instinct for Disney to lean into the Greek epic of it all and the serious drama that you can mine from this tale. But it's important to remember that Disney's Hercules was a musical romantic comedy, plus a coming-of-age tale, plus an underdog/sports story. So if Disney wanted to attempt to bring Herc to the big screen, they should focus on the story's heart, its characters, like the iconic villain Hades, and the feminist icon that is Meg. The music, again, straight up wall-to-wall bangers, and of course, the humor.
You wanna buy a sundial?
And we would be remiss if we didn't mention that Hercules is full of pop culture references. Some of them are extremely 90s, but others, they hold up, Air Hercs being one of them. Updating the references and remaining satirical would only benefit a new version of Hercules, and we, and by we, I mean Aaron, believe that if Disney were to hire a comedy director, they could translate Herc to the big screen with huge success. Also, Danny DeVito needs to be Phil again. Just straight up give him goat legs.
Oh, I got a fur wedgie.
And those are our picks for the next run of Disney's live-action adaptations. You can all come back later when they're announced so we can say I told you so. I'm just gonna say it right now retroactively. I told you so. I guess that would be proactively. Either way, you done been told. But until then, what do you folks think? Which Disney animated feature deserves a live-action remake? And why didn't producer Aaron include the Black Cauldron on this list? What does she have against big soup pots for witch potions? And has she spent far too much time thinking about how a live-action Herc would live-action work? Almost definitely. Let's discuss. Thanks again to Borderlands 3 for sponsoring today's episode. The original shooter looter is back and bigger than ever with 4 all-new Vault Hunters and over 1 billion guns. It's time to lock, load, and loot. Pick up your copy on Xbox One, PS4, or PC now. Let's make some mayhem. Rated M for mature.